Hey, what's happening? Alive and alert on the north side. Was that really high pitched when I said alive? Anyway, alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It must be Thursday, so this must be Thursday live. I see there's that all my fun friends is here. Trail mix. And see, all y'all are in here. I have a treat for you. Groovy, what's happening? What's happening, Groovy? Hey, Grand Madam, hi, how you doing? Paul Martin, even though you ain't say nothing to me, how you doing? I feel petty tonight. Theo, what's up, baby boy? What's up? What else going on? Mr. Ray Smith in the building tonight. I am honored. Welcome, Mr. Ray Smith. If there's anybody else that slid up in here when I wasn't looking, feel free to join the hey, hi, hello. That's just kind of a thing we do at the Rock With Me Nation. We had these hey, hello, hi there, how you doing? You know what I mean? So don't feel like we're being excessively friendly. It's just universal greeting for the people of our kind. Hey, I feel like that is an apt enough description. Fellowship and brotherhood and fellowship. Allow me to stall a little bit. As I draws the necessary information that I need, not information, but data. I got a fun show for y'all tonight. A really fun show. Crazy stuff has been happening. Crazy stuff has been happening to me. There's crazy stuff happening with our excuse me while I multitask. Trust me, the multitasking is for your benefit. You are going to be like, oh wow, OG. How do I know you gonna be like, oh wow, OG? Okay. If my peoples are in the building who love action figures, I have some imagery for you tonight that I think you will thoroughly enjoy. Mr. Ray Smith is in the building tonight, so you are actually gonna get to see a little bit of him work. And a friend of mine by the name of Joshua Booker. After y'all see his stuff, y'all gonna be like, he been across the street all this time and we didn't even know it. Yeah, it's gonna be that kind of thing. So y'all, well, it's only 3. I'm only 3 minutes in, so I'm gonna give y'all a couple more minutes to slide up in here, and then I'm gonna proceed with the proceedings, which works perfectly in my favor. Oh, look at here. I already got the stuff I was looking for. I don't even know why I'm panicking. I'm over organized. Doggone it, me. Why are you so organized? Why am I patting myself on the back so damn hard? It's just one of those days. Oh, before I forget, let me tell y'all about Sprinter. Yes, a unique new season taking place right here in the state of Alaska. What the heck kind of season is Sprinter, you might ask? Well, because edutainment's what I do. As its name implies, it is a hybrid of spring and winter. Sprinter. And Sprinter kind of go like this. It'll get up to about 40, 50 degrees. Everything melts. You can see the streets. It's looking like, oh, we can get outside and start playing and running and frolicking and wearing our shorts and our slides and flip flops. And so Alaska's a place like that. You know what I'm saying? It get like 40, 50 degrees. This mug's running around here in flip flops. They got sturdy feet. What can I say? I ain't never been a flip flop or a slide. Well, I wear my slides in the house. But anyway, then, like right now, as I look out the window, it'll snow. Enough snow like accumulation where it's like you're crunching under your feet snow. And then the cycle will repeat itself. Why you playing with my emotions, Mother Nature? What is that shit about? You know what I mean? Either snow and just make it a long winter, or just quit playing and go somewhere for a couple months so we can get a little bit of vitamin D3 on our faces from a natural source. That's all the brothers asking. I don't know. That's what we've been dealing with. So let me get in these files real quick. Ooh, I got a fun video coming your way. Really, really soon. But I want to get enough of the info together before I do it. But I promise, fun stuff. Oh, I got a fun story this year too. Oh yeah, you're absolutely gonna love it. You're absolutely gonna love it. Did I get it? Yep. Okay. I'm just making sure. Doing some little last minute stuff that I need to do. Stuff I need for visuals. You know what I mean? So I want everybody to be able to see. You know, I feel like visual assistance assists. That made no sense, did it? Visual assistance assists. Okay. Let me grab a couple of the images. We almost at the 10-minute mark. I usually get started at the 10-minute mark, but everybody's usually still kikiing and ha-ha and chit-chatting and smiling at one another and carrying on. Just want to be sure everybody's good with everybody. If you're digging what brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. If you're digging only if you're digging what a brother is shoveling. Boom. You guys are gonna love this. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. Because I loved it when I seen it. And I know y'all have similar tastes like I do. So when you seizes it, you are absolutely gonna love it too. And if you don't, money back guarantee. Oh shoot, did I send it? Let me look. Oh, I don't want to leave nobody hanging. We don't want to do that, do we? Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Ab fab. Okay, past 10-minute mark. See, now I'm infringing on your time, and we don't want to do that. We do not want to do that, do we? Okay. Oh, it's almost 11 minutes. So we're gonna do what we do. He say you good. Say New York doing a bootleg version of Sprinter as well. Man, I don't know what that is. Where he can't make up his mind, and it'd be solid snow, solid. Speaking of solid, I'm feeling complexities emanating from places. Complexities. What do I mean when I talk about complexities? You know what? Let's keep it the way we need to keep it. Excuse me. I'm messing with my terminology. Ooh. We don't want to do that. Okay. My bad. I was messing with the wrong thing. Just gotta grab something real quick. There we go. Boom. Okay. Now, there are some of us that have had issues over the years with Marvel Studios. If Marvel Studios, and this is, I gotta turn on the light for this one. I can't make it no more simpler. If you having issues with Marvel Studios staff, Marvel Studios productions, anything, Disney, whatever, anything that got to do with Marvel Studios. I guess the simple question would be, after you have divested yourself of them, there's more to be done. And if we are so divested of them, just, I wouldn't say a 100% vestige removal, but like a 95% vestige removal, so it ain't seen as frequently. You know what I mean? What after that? When you minimize to the point that you can minimize with all things Marvel Studios, what after that? Because I used to date a girl. And we didn't get along. And we both decided it was best we amicably separate. What happens after we amicably separate? Feel free to chime in if you feel like you need to chime in. If you don't want to chime in the comments, that's fine too. I'm going to keep it pushing. What am I getting at? If I'm through with Marvel Studios, I don't care what they getting ready to come out with. If I'm through with Marvel Studios, what do I care about a show they got coming out? What do I care about the ratings of that show? If I'm through. You see what I'm saying? So when you say you're through with Marvel Studios, are you saying I'm through with Marvel Studios plus I'm the bitter ex that wants to drag them every chance I get? If you through, be through. The best way to forget a legend is to stop talking about him. Is that just a nice slogan, or do we truly believe that? Stop talking about them then. I don't give a if they got some stuff coming out. I don't give a if they got a new series. I don't give a if they. I don't care. Unless and we know what the unless is. Right? So if that's how we standing, then stand like that. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, say I'm 75% done with Marvel, or I'm 80% done with Marvel, or I'm 90% done with Marvel Studios. Not, oh, I'm done with them, but you ain't really done. You see what I'm saying? You talking about what a show did or didn't do. You still talking about it. That means you're still keeping it relevant. That should be a no-brainer. Shouldn't it? Nobody should have to tell you that the more you keep that person's name on your lips, that company's name on your lips, that company's happenings and productions on your lips, make it make sense. It ain't making sense. And because tell me if I'm tripping. If what I'm saying don't make no kind of sense. If we saying we through. Because I can tell you to the degree I'm through, you might get some Black Panther comic book reviews if it's Black Panther related, or something that's really, really, really black like Luke Cage, or you know what I'm saying? That's the only way. In the Marvel Legends. Other than that, I'm really not trying to endorse nothing with the name on it. I'm an action figure collector, so because I've collected them, you know, I got the option of either keeping them or selling them. Same with the comics. If I can put all of that money into Marvel, if I can put all of that time into Marvel and make it known who I am and why I'm doing what I do, and you still like, whatever. I do not need Kevin Feige to walk up to me and say, D, I don't give a shit about nothing you spent. it is what it is, and you just gonna have to ride with it. And if you don't like it, hit the bricks, my G. I don't need him to come up to me and say that. His actions say that with these productions. His actions say that about his responses to certain things. You don't need your ex to keep telling you that we through after the first time. We done. I ain't fucking with you no more. You need to come back next Friday and tell you again. Recast T'Challa. F y'all. Or else. That's the or else. For me, you know what I mean? It what it is, man. You stand by your principles. If you say that's what you're doing, then do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk about it. Don't stick your chest out and say this is where I'm at, and then don't do nothing. That's lip service. Them wolf tickets. You know? If you're done, you're done. Then be done. You know what I'm saying? That just where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? Real talk. Oh, I see Kamoyo done slid in. Got you. You damn skippy it is, Theo. There's a crap ton of content to be made outside the MCU. You know what I mean? That's where I'm hanging my hat. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you don't care nothing about what I think, then you better not care nothing about what I do. Who knows what could happen when I decide what somebody thinks is no longer important, because they have shown me that what I think is not important. I don't keep banging my head up against no damn wall. I'm just not going to do that. I'm here for that. And that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? I can't keep eating boo-boo and pretending like it's grits. Keep it. You can keep it. Just keep it over there. You know what I mean? Go ahead and run your well dry. Or holla at me when y'all reboot and do it right. And consult comic book people, you dumbasses. Paul Martin say he watching Daredevil. Serious lack of interest for anything else. I wonder why that is. Is it why do you no longer have interest for anything else? Because you see it for what it is, or you've always seen it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of what I think of a lot of times when I go back and look at it. And I think it was Theo that did a video where he talked about how when you go back and you look even at phases 1 through 3, there was shit we just accepted. You know what I'm saying? And through that whole phase, we wasn't getting that multiversal until towards the end. And so you introduced to the concept of, yeah, there could be others. And then you get in phase 4 and they all off in it. There are others. There are this and that and these and those and them. And then you go back and you go, this whole universe is one of them. So you literally have the option of accepting the pointlessness of endeavoring to change something that doesn't even hear it needs change. The or else. Stay with the or else. Recast T'Challa or else. That's not a threat. That's not a threat. And I don't understand how people don't understand that. You know what I mean? That's just where I'm at with it. If it seems wrong, okay, then it's wrong. But that's just where I'm at with it. If folks don't like that, they don't like that. But Paul, you say you like Cage, but don't feel like coming out one of retirement. Oh. I feel like it's a good story. Well, not a good concept. Put it like that. Give me a powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? Give me a powerful powerhouse like that. And Sentry's involved. Thunderbolts. That's marketing. You know, black folks don't stand on business like that. We like our comforts too much. Huh? You said a mouthful there, brother. But we come out like that for Bruce Wayne. We come out like that for Clark Kent. Ooh. I understand what you're saying, Kamayo, but just that's what it is. It makes me inside. That's what it makes me feel like. You know, we talk about, yeah, we'll stand on business for a bunch of stuff we didn't ask for. We'll stand on business for stuff that don't represent us. What you supposed to do after that? Just okay. I loved Captain Marvel. Janice Hala's son Marvel. Yeah, the Kree captain. Killed him. I mean, that was the only one I really liked. That's my boy. That's my boy. Wherever he was at. Oh, I'm pulling up. Captain Marvel fighting the living laser. Back in the 70s. Captain Marvel chopping the cosmic cube in half as he was turning into dust. Why do I keep finding myself thinking about them kind of things? Because it's programming. Yeah, it's programming. If I keep foisting it in your face and foisting it in your face and foisting it in your face, you have no choice but to accept it. Your eyes got them little squiggly lines around them little circles. And they just mesmerize you with it. Overwhelm your senses with it. And to the point where you're like, yes, I like it. Without even realizing it ain't that the character is so appealing so much as we fucking saturated the market with this character, so you ain't got no damn choice but to like it. Or don't pay no attention to what's going on the screen. Paul Martin said Coogler had me irked talking about Chad's dedication to the role of T'Challa regarding accent. Yet dedication means Chad was so selfish to take the role with him to the afterlife. He said no such thing ever. Said no such thing ever. And I die on that hill. You can find some footage of him saying, nope, I don't want nobody else to be Black Panther. Quite to the contrary, actually. You almost figure out which convenience they buy your loyalty with. Terraform by the group Die Waters Out. Yikes. That's deep. Quite a few of us are satisfied with the representation Marvel gives us, as their mindset is at least the MCU is giving us something, where something is better than nothing. I I refer back to the poop and grits analogy. That in real time. I have wanted a black man at that power level since Nixon was president. Now that I got it, I don't care. You actually have a couple, and I'm going to talk about one of them later in the show with a fantastic idea that I want to put out to y'all, since a lot of the Panther faithful are here. We all must figure out which convenience they buy our loyalty with. Right. Okay. But at the same time, you gotta be able to do you. Nobody can be you but you. Steve Arrington. The Griot is speaking tonight. Where else do I want to go tonight? Oh. Okay. Real quick, has anybody seen the show on Netflix called Adolescence? Has anybody seen that yet? Okay. All right. I'm gonna fill the comments, then we're gonna get into it. Paul Martin said, wouldn't putting Blue Marvel on the new FF movie have made sense since it's set in the 60s? You know what? It would have made sense, and it would even be mature and very futurist thinking of them to even add the parts that Kevin Grievous put in his original limited series, where people discovered he was black and shunned it. And the president told him, yeah, show that. Wouldn't that be fun to see in a movie? Kamayo say, since I moved past the MCU, I noticed friends in the nerd community have drifted away from me. Somehow, I don't miss them. Nah, because like I was telling you the other night, they can keep suckling on that MCU tit. It have fun. I just went out, have fun. You know what I mean? Shit, be a cold day in hell before you get a dime from me. But back to this adolescence thing. I watched this show on Netflix. I binged it actually a couple weeks ago, called Adolescence, and it is a study in what truly makes a bad child bad. Okay. What makes a child bad enough, evil enough to commit murder? Okay. Now, Adolescence is set over in the UK. So it's a very UK working class kind of a series. And you meet let me get the names right, because I don't want to direct you to the wrong characterization. Okay. Jamie is the young man's name. And his dad's name is Eddie. And Eddie is a working class dad. And oh boy, Duchesne. Duchesne's in it. And you know the crazy part about it? Duchesne plays a cop. Okay? For those of you that rocked with that other UK series, Top Boy. It is what it is, y'all. And that's all what it is. Anyway, this young boy, Jamie, is accused of murder. They pull up to the young buck's crib with a tactical team, like their equivalent of a SWAT team. And like, bow, the door, like you think they was going after a drug dealer or something. The way they came at, we here to get this kid because he killed somebody. He's suspected of murder. 13-year-old boy. Well, I think he was 12 at the time. No, he was 13. 15, I'm sorry. 15. They took him up out of there. And I remember there was a scene where he's in there and they processed him and he's in a holding cell, and then they get him into an interrogation room, and his dad is talking to him, and his dad asks him point blank, did you do it? And that's the point. Every parent know when we in here, it's just me and you. I'm looking at you, you looking at me, you looking at me, you looking at you, and I ask you, am I wasting my time up in here? Or do we need to get you a lawyer? A solicitor is what they call it over in the UK. They call it a solicitor, not a lawyer. But he told his dad he didn't do it. Man, Duchesne came up in there and hit his ass with so much evidence and bow and bow and we got cameras, right? You know where you was at. It's cameras, right? And just pulled out the footage and blah 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 blah. Put it on a laptop. That's you, right? Yeah, them your blue Jordans, right? I remember watching it like the very first time and seeing all of that, because that's how they hit you. And it's like, and he crying, crying, crocodile tears, crying. But then when the psychologists come to examine him, He's on this shit. Excuse me. He's on that. See how he up on her in her face, and he jumped at her like, hey. And after they got him out the room, ooh, she's scared. She's scared. I mean, you just slap him out the way. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no knife right now, because that's how he killed this girl. But basically, it boils down to the fact that this little girl got online and was calling him an incel. And he's not an incel, but she had mugs clowning him online, and he was getting cyberbullied and whatnot. And he confronted her in real life. And you look at their life and you look at the home, when you look, and they show you all of these scenes, it don't seem like it's a bad life or he's like a bad person, but it really, 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 really makes you draw attention to what are your kids doing, if you have kids. What are your kids doing when you ain't looking at them? What are your kids saying and what's being said to your kids when they just close themselves off in their bedroom and jack into the matrix, essentially? Is a quote unquote bad kid always bad? Or is there some kind of outside stimulus that's injected into the situation? Because this same young man, young Jamie there, other than having the misfortune of being caught on the wrong end of some internet shit, he was essentially a normal kid. So is it so much that he was bad, or was it circumstances? Because nowadays, at least with young people, they're thinking once they are online and they have an online presence, their online presence is all they have. Or just to, because in the series, it was all about being on Instagram and people wanting to be on Instagram and having a presence on Instagram, having an Instagram page and folks liking your shit and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And I can remember it back when my oldest daughter, or my middle daughter, we was having that struggle about to be on Facebook or to not be on Facebook, because it was like right at the cusp of 13, you know what I mean? And she was a handful too. But it's like, I'm not saying no because I don't want you to have a life. I'm saying no because I'm concerned about folks that's concerned about you online, and I can't be there every second of every day. You know what I'm saying? Call me a daddy daughter or a daughter daddy. You know what I mean? That just, my natural instinct is to jump out and protect, maim, and kill anything that gets too close. You know what I'm saying? So back to my man's in them here. You can see from that image, he's projecting. You know what I mean? He ain't gangster like that. Boy, you know what I'm saying? You ain't about that life. I know you ain't about that life. But you did kill somebody. You got a body. Whether it's a body you got from struggle or you just because you caught yourself a victim, you got a body. You know what I mean? So she's right to be scared. You know what I mean? She should be scared. You know what I mean? and understand that they in that room by themselves. He right there on her. He could do something to you before that guard get a chance to get up in there. You know what I mean? And if I'm allowed to, you know what I'm saying, I want to maybe extrapolate an image here, and go boom like that. You see that image right there. He up in there crying and boo-hooing and whatnot, and for a reaction. Because once you start hearing, the story unfold, and the more the story unfolds, the more you look at him and be like, he did it. You know what I mean? But is he a bad kid? Yeah, he killed somebody. But is he a bad kid? I went to school with a girl in Kansas City who killed somebody, but now she's state senate. She running for state senate, or she got something to do with state senate over in Missouri. So, bruh, that's why I ask, is he really bad, or is he just a product of the way we allow, well, I ain't gonna say we, some parents allow their children to be? You want to give your child anonymity, but you still got to understand your child is still a child. And because you are their legal guardian, you got the right to step in. I mean, I don't want to be mean about it, but F their life. If it comes to your safety or my bank account, you don't get a say. Unless you want to emancipate yourself. But if it's a safety issue, or it's a monetary issue, or a legal issue, sorry, I gotta step in. You want to hate somebody, go ahead and hate me. Just wake up in the morning and eat the eggs. you know, you know what I'm saying? Hey, at what we talking about here? You know when you got a bad kid. When kids are lying to you just because they can lie, you got a bad kid on your hand. Or you got to start asking yourself, where do they get that from? And why do they feel they need to do that? Are bad kids bad? Are they made bad? Is there something inherent in all children, that in all human beings, that just say, I'm going to be incessantly evil? I'm going to be irredeemable. And the people who caught it the most was his family, his parents, his sister. His dad had like a plumbing carpentry business, and they wrote a UK slur that mean pervert or something on the side of his van. And he trying his best to, keep it together, and he ready to snap off and just crash out on people. And it's like, same thing with the daughter in school. She in high school. She older than him. He middle school. And the mom, she one of the moms, she trying to pretend like everything ain't all effed up. You know what I'm saying? She trying to just keep everybody smiling, keep everybody happy. And they struggling together, all because, and they done been turned into pariahs and outcasts in their community because of this little pissant and what he decides is best for his social image. And that's pretty much what it boils down to. Are kids bad? Yeah, they can be bad, but are they redeemable? In his case, can young Jamie be rehabilitated? like I said, I had a classmate in middle school that killed somebody, and they're in government now. Is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? I don't know. Maybe it was something that happened at the spur of a moment. But we all have spur of the moment things happen to us. It don't prompt us to kill. Something to think about. How we feeling about this right here? Come on, yo, say the cruelty of youth. The consequences of bad decisions. That's essentially what my man gotten and was continuing to get. Said the kids sound like Brightburn. Maybe in that instance. Yes. Bad equals malevolent intent. Oh, then I was a bad child. I was a very bad child. Because I promise every prank, every joke, every single thing I did had malevolent intent. So, but I wasn't irredeemable, is the point. I wasn't irredeemably bad. And I didn't do anything that cost me my freedom. Enablers are a problem as well. Well, the way Jamie frames it is he was getting rid of a bully. But the only person being bullied by this girl was him. Go figure. Paul Martin say the two criminals I grew up with just felt societal rules didn't apply to them. They came from middle-class black homes. You know what, Paul Martin? I know some people just like that. I mean, if you can believe it, this guy's parents do in fact come from criminal background, but they got their life right. And was living right and had carved out a nice little living for themselves and got government jobs and that kind of a thing and was living nice. But the son, for some reason, felt like I got to be a gangster too. I got to be a thug too. I got to be involved in things. I got to be. I ain't gonna put everybody's business out there, but yeah. So it does happen. It does happen, Paul. You don't necessarily have to come from no crispy clean background or a super criminalistic one to become a criminal. You know what I mean? A lot of criminals, quote unquote, lived pretty uneventful lives. You know what I mean? Bottom line, though, the show made me think, really like they'll really go back into like saying I was like pulling psychology books from college off the shelf, off my bookshelf and read, how do I had this one by how do I love me? You know what I mean? Start, thinking about things like, Maslow's hierarchy of the order of priority of things we need. And it's just like self-actualization. When does self-actualization occur? Certainly not at 13 or 15. Well, dang, we talk about the frontal lobe finally, maturing at like the age of 25. them higher logic functions ain't quite there yet, even in adulthood. That's why you got some people who will get in trouble with the law in their early 20s, get them DUIs, get those non-felony assaults because you brawling in the bar, and you know what I'm saying? You might get caught with some recreational drug on you. So now you got a drug charge. Ooh, big baller. You know, those kind of things. You know what I mean? But once you mature and you find out, oh, this ain't the kind of shit I'm supposed to be doing. I need to grow up and do what I'm supposed to be doing as an adult. Some people don't and become career criminals or career petty criminals, you know what I'm saying, and never hit that big lick and just wind up in and out of the system, and they're these folks that we read about. Moyo said, I grew up in the projects, my cousin in the suburbs, and he wound up being the crash out. Yeah, because a lot of times giving people what they want when they want it sends the wrong message. Oh, my parents always gave me what I wanted. Oh, you not gonna give it to me? F it, I'm gonna take it. So there's that kind of mentality. I think it's like a Daedalus, not Daedalus, an Icarus syndrome. You know what I'm saying? As much as you're told, as much as you're trained, as much as it's drilled into your head, man, don't fly too close to the sun. The feathers are attached together by wax. If you get too close, the wax will melt and your ass will fall out of the sky. And no matter how much you tell them, don't fly too close to the sun. Don't fly too close to the sun. Don't fly too effing close to the sun. What did Icarus do? Didn't listen. Icarus syndrome. No matter how much I tell you something, you still gonna do the exact fucking polar opposite of what I said do. There are ways to counter that, but then I would have to get really super psychological and analytical and stuff and whatnot. Let's look at some action figures. Okay, we're gonna look at some action figures. I'm just gonna step aside and I'm gonna start throwing up images because I got a bunch of them. And I'm gonna tell you either if it is Mr. Ray Smith, if he's still here, or my friend Joshua Booker, and kind of try to discern them as best I can of what they may have been made of. Boom, here we go. Bam. That's just a nice little grouping of characters. But that Black Panther, if you look at it real closely, if you're able to, which fantastic paint job, by the way. If you are able to look past that paint job, you can see, ironically, that is a Namor. That's a Namor. If you look at the collar real close, but he added a cape onto it. But you can see the V right there where Namor's chest is. You can see from the belt. But the feet have been changed. And the feet, or either he sharpened the toes because they show look more Panther-like. But that's nice image there. That is courtesy of my friend Joshua Booker. This too is also courtesy of Joshua Booker. If for those of y'all that don't recognize, that is a custom Shadowhawk. Well, not a custom. That was actually a Shadowhawk figure. But speaking of customs, that is courtesy of my friend Joshua. Oh shoot, you know what? I don't even think. Well, anyway, we'll keep just going. Or else I do what I do. I'm pretty good at this. I'm going to save me. Don't worry. La 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 la. Cause Mr. Ray Smith has some stuff. And I forgot to mail it to myself, but you know what? Watch your boy work. Anyways, bam, on the way. Anyway, now, is that so hard, Hasbro? Is that so hard to do? That is a custom Spectrum. I like what's going on there. You know what I mean? I like that whole motif. You know, it's just a kit bash, but that head sculpt is banging, yo. I like that. Joshua Booker is on Facebook. If y'all want, if for those of y'all that are on Facebook, if y'all want to go to Joshua's page and bow, start rocking with that. He is always kit bashing. He is always, you know, customizing. He's put it like this: he owns a Dremel. You know you serious when you own a Dremel. Anyways, though, that's the Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk was that. Yeah, when we talk about black superheroes, we often fail to mention Shadowhawk. You know what I mean? You know the first, because there's a couple of them. You know the first Shadowhawk was a black guy, right? We know the first Shadowhawk was a black guy, right? Yes, we do. Bam, there we go. Got it. Boom. I'm ready for bear, y'all. I'm ready for bear. Okay. There you go. All right. Kit bashes and customization can be simple, or that shit can be complex like a mug. Case in point, he made a Zeus and an Atlas. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say Hercules arms, Odin body for the Zeus. And Herc just has a cape on and more weapons, but that's how Herc looks all day. Wow. Atlas looks like a Masters of the Universe figure potentially. I could be wrong. It's two left shoes, but y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments, and I'm finna get Mr. Smith stuff ready. I mean, we still got a couple more Joshua stuff too, but Mr. Smith, he got down for the get down on the jungle action tip, y'all. So he got it popping the most on the jungle action tip. So y'all yeah, I'm just hold up. I'm gonna just hold up. Boom. There go another one. Now. Ultimate Spider-Man, the cartoon. Sam Alexander Nova, Luke Cage, White Tiger, Iron Fist, Spider-Man. You know you used to watch it. That's like I said, that's Joshua. That is his icon and Rocket prior to the drop of Icon and Rocket. How about that, Luke Cage? I like that chain, yo. You know what I'm saying? That chain popping. That chain popping. Let's see. I got a couple more. Then we gonna showcase my guy. Boop. All right. Who remembers Agents of Atlas? That is sick. I like that he used the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes head sculpt for Jimmy Woo. That's dope. We got Venus in the bag, Robot Man, Marvel Boy, Namora, 3D Man. That is Elijah Bradley. That's dope, bro. Hey, my guy be doing it. He be he be getting down for the get down, bro. I don't be messing around. Oh, y'all know my pedigree. I don't bring no suckers to the fold. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring you one, baby. I'm gonna bring you one. He gonna be a real one. Now, this is the last little bit of his I'm going to show you. Then we're going to get on to Mr. Smith. Now, this was done with a G.I. Joe figure. That's nasty. And then it's so natural. That looks very Red Skull. Even gave him some glasses. Got the Cobra case and everything. You know who else you could do this with? And that will fit perfectly? Baron Strucker. Helmut Zemo. Moreland. Ooh. Infinite possibilities. But without first, let me get y'all comments on this here before I move on to the next tier. Ooh, bars. The table of Mr. Smith is the stuff of legend. That's why I'm saving it for last, Kamoya. Ray Smith said, I like Joshua's stuff. Yes, his customs are nice. Shadowhawk is always completely covered. Folks confuse him with Darkhawk. Yep, Ultimate Spidey. All right, so without further ado, we're gonna move on to some goodies from the archive of our own Mr. Ray Smith. That is a custom Jakara. You know, T'Challa's half brother who gets overexposed to some vibranium and turns into that. Okay. Need next to one of these two here is my favorite coming up. That is Somber and King Cadaver. Bro, when he told me what he made King Cadaver's head with, I was like, oh, it's like this ant creature. It's dope. And he just pulled the antennas off and painted the eyeballs white and gave him pupils. And you could probably pretty much use any body for him, but that I believe is a Prince Zuko from the Avatar line. Is a Prince Zuko body. The mask for Somber is custom ordered I like that. I like that. Nightshade. Nightshade in the building. That is a wonderfully depicted Tildy Johnson. That is a custom head sculpt. That's courtesy of Artman Customs, if I'm not mistaken. Shouts out to Artman Customs. If you rock with this channel, we mess with you heavy, bro. So you should definitely be sub to Be Real with D Real. Definitely sub to I ain't saying, I'm just saying with my man Theo B and probably Grand Madam Chero. We could probably get her started too. Get her into the fold. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. That is a Shikla body. You know, the enemy of Deadpool, Shikla. Didn't take a mess of painting, it looked like. And then add that head sculpt and boom, it's banging. Only other thing, probably, if you can get a glaze on it, that will probably make the color pop a little more. But dope, super dope. And of course, Wind Eagle. I like that. Probably the only thing. No, well, I ain't see. Here I go. I'm just, yeah. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up, and I'm gonna just do what I do. How about that? Cause yeah, that's light work, huh, Mr. Smith? Light work. But yeah, that's dope. That's dope. And for those of us that don't know, Wind Eagle is of Latino descent. So when y'all get finished talking about, hey, how come? That's how come. And last, but certainly not least in this display, a Chibat. That is a custom head sculpt on the Baron Mordo from Into the Multiverse of Madness. Or no. Trevor Slattery. Trevor Slattery as the Mandarin. Okay. This has been your action figure moment. Now I try to bring y'all action figure stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oops. I try to bring y'all action figure stuff. But if I ain't got nothing new coming in, I hit you like that. But yeah, if y'all rock with Joshua Booker, by all means, rock with Joshua Booker. Kamayo say, let's just have Mr. Smith run Hasbro already. And he said, yep, it was a Prince Zuko. And yes, I was right. Yay. Man, it's Mandarin. Okay. The Trevor Slattery just came out, huh? But yeah, a Mandarin. Okay. Totally see that. Dope. See, that's the Rock With Me Nation, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we get down. That's how we flow. That's how we do it. Thank you, Mr. Smith, for those amazing depictions. I want to talk about a couple comics, if I may. And y'all just gonna have to bear with me for a second because I got some thoughts. And I'm gonna share my thoughts about a couple comics that have been on my mind. If you have been rocking with my channel, you of course have heard me talk about Absolute Green Lantern. Now, it took a while, man, for me to, kind of warm up to the idea of an Absolute Green Lantern because I wasn't sure who was going to be the Absolute Green Lantern. But now we know it's Joe Moline. And just like I said to y'all, that sounds like some kind of makeup, Joe Moline. But yeah, Joe Moline is the Green Lantern. That is something of note. that you should keep in your memory banks. This story is being written by Al Ewing. That's another thing I want you to keep in mind. I think it was Afro Xanic said in the comments that he couldn't afford it, so he just gonna be watching my reviews. So I'm gonna try to bring y'all these reviews and hopefully save you some money. But I ain't gonna bring y'all the whole comic, man. I'm gonna bring y'all just the good pieces, the funky stuff, and the crux of the story. Because I was bringing y'all all best of the best, and wasn't nobody even rocking with it, man. That's a knockdown, drag out ass comic. But anyway, there's a lot going on in Absolute Green Lantern because number one, you got Joe Malone. Number two, you got John Stewart. Number three, you got Hal Jordan. Number four, Guy Gardner is mentioned. And Guy Gardner is mentioned as being the ex-husband of Joe Malone. Joe Malone's bisexual. I wonder if that has anything to do with them getting a divorce. I wonder if she's even bisexual in this version. And why should it even matter? It shouldn't. I'm just trying to see what things are different and what things are the same in this run. It seems like Hal Jordan is the bad guy because the police run up on him, ask him what's in his pocket, end up drawing down on him and getting messed up. So yeah, and then that is Abin Sur. That don't look like no Abin Sur I ever seen. And then lastly, you got Joe Malone pulling up. So time-wise, this story is going to be told out of sequence because we fluctuate between the present in this book and events that took place 5 days prior. So we are going to be bouncing in and out of flashbacks for certain, but I don't think the flashbacks will entirely spoil the story. All right. I told y'all about this book a while back. Defiant. The story of Robert Smalls. It's an independent comic. Strange comics. Just give you some names. You might not know who they are, but I'm going to tell you who they are anyway, because they all got something to do with putting this book together. And I wants to give them their props. That would be Rob Edwards is the writer, and we got a crap ton of interior artists. Sean Damian Hill, Alex Peterson, layout artist, Daryl May, colorist, Mauro Salgado, blonde, cover artist, Ray Anthony Height, and Paulo Rattieri, Nicholas Draper Ivy, Kanan White, and blonde. Letterer and designer, Joshua Cozine, editor, Joshua Cozine, Sebastian A. Jones, and there are a ton of executive, associate, and tons of people. Stranger Comics. The story of Robert Smalls. What? Are you saying you don't know who Robert Smalls is? Robert Smalls is a real life person. Robert Smalls is a man who started out as a slave and ended up as a state representative in the state of South Carolina. Stole a Confederate battleship and sailed it into Union territory. But we get to hear about his life from slavery to freedom, to fighting in the Civil War, all that. It's a 4-issue miniseries. And once I get all of them, I will start covering the entire story, because when the story opens up, it's him telling his life story to his grandson. Family, Theo. Family. This comic's about grandpa telling his grandson a story about his life. I don't think it gets more family than that. Okay, what we talking about? We're still talking about Green Lantern in the comments. Of course, the white X of the black character is in there. Tropes out the gate. With John Stewart right there. I just watched a review of this book today. Thank you. Yes, Robert Smalls, y'all. Robert Smalls. Oh, Theo, are you saying no now? Do a review on it now? Well, right now there are only 3 issues, and it's 4 of them, and I have them, but I need that. I need the whole. You want me to get your appetite all wetted and stuff, and then patience. Trust your big brother. Let me cook. I got you. I got you. Trust me. I got you. Okay, y'all. This ain't all about serious issues. Damn it. It's about having some fun. All right, let's have some fun. I saved the fun topics for last. And this is truly going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I promise. Question. Say I gotta go full Theo and just come off the top rope. Trust me. When I come, I'm coming from out the back. I'm coming from out the back, and folks, and by the time folks notice me creeping up, too late. Blah. Oh, I got you. Then I'm gonna pull you in the ring, take you over my shoulder, and drop you off into the broadcast table. Yeah, we doing it like that. Trust me. But anyways, I was getting ready to say, oh yeah, y'all know we got to have a what if, a square off, who gonna win, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. All right, this is what we doing this week. All right, now before y'all get started, that is the MCU version of T'Challa. That is the DCU version of Batman. Those versions. Okay, we've only seen this particular Black Panther in 1, 2, 3, 4 movies. 4 movies. And he didn't hardly have much screen time in any of them. The Batman guy, we have seen him in 1, 2, kind of 3-ish. Because there was 2 versions of the same movie. Now, given all the feats performed in those movies, those 4 movies where we saw T'Challa, and all the feats performed in those 3 or 4 movies we saw Batfleck in, who wins a head-to-head matchup? And even though it's futile, we'll give Batman prep time. Go on. Talk amongst yourselves. But it's going to be a real short conversation. Oh, we ready to move on? Okay. Oh. You wanted a synopsis of the Donnybrook, eh? Okay. Long story short. Say what you want to say. Of all the Batmans in cinematic history, I ain't seen but one kick ass the way he kicked it. He is the battiest Batman that I have seen cinematically. He comes closest to being what I think a cinematic bat. He's very Jim Lee looking. Very Frank Miller looking. However, I did say it was going to be long story short. And here's the short. Batfleck, given all his engineering and know-how, has absolutely squat to counteract vibranium and its effects. And then given the fact that they're pretty much evenly matched when it comes to combat. However, once again, T'Challa is probably way stronger than Batman, thanks to the effects of the heart-shaped head. So, as much as I would love to see Batfleck get down and do some things, I would go so far as to say this fight is T'Challa kind of trouncing him. You know what I mean? No shade to you Bat fans, no shade to DC folk. And that's why I kept it right there. So you ain't got all that wiggle room. Batman's got the God armor and the Hellbat and the Radiator and the Justice Busters. And nah, fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Because if we do that, then T'Challa got the intergalactic empire of Wakanda. What? Batman got some resources, but he don't got a whole intergalactic empire at his disposal, or the resources of said intergalactic empire. So that's where we at with it. T'Challa spanks that ass. Spanks that ass. This is a reference to the previous subject. Theo with Booker T the other day. Ryan Coogler, we coming again. Yeah. Okie dokes. DCU Bats has good hand-to-hand and gadgets, but T'Challa washing up. He can, like I said, he can have prep time and come up with whatever he think he can come up with to take T'Challa down. There is just nothing like well, there is, but he ain't got it. and no, there's nothing like vibranium in the DC universe. And since there's nothing like vibranium in the DC universe, there's no way for Batfleck to analyze and come up with a counter for it. You telling me Batman searching every universe to fight this one opponent who he thinks he could probably take out hand to hand? Stop the cap. T'Challa handle Bucky no suit. That. You know what I'm saying? That. He handled Bucky no suit. So, yeah, what freaking chance does he have against T'Challa? Speaking of T'Challa, I have been working on a concept. You call it what you want to call it, but I think it's a rather unique concept. And hear me out. I could probably get to work on it in action figure form, but just throw it at you. Okay. The Panther Patrol. The Panther Patrol. Okay. Now, as you can see, I have assembled a team of Panthers. Now, let me familiarize those of us who may not be familiar with these T'Challa. And how are they all together? Why are they all together? Well, since we're doing all this multiverse shit, I felt inspired by the story Avengers Forever, the original story of Avengers Forever, where the core Avengers are specific Avengers plucked out of specific points in time where they were kind of like not necessarily at their best, but they were good, and then but there were still shortcomings, so they wasn't 100. So I did it one better, and I said I'm gonna have T'Challa's being plucked from different universes. Okay, so top left, that is the Star Panther. For those that don't recognize him, Star Panther is basically a supercharged vibranium Superman for all intents and purposes. And that's what you're dealing with. That's a powerhouse at the end of the day. To the right of him, that is the Cold Tiger. The Cold Tiger is the original design of the Black Panther. Later on in Avengers, we actually got to see the Cold Tiger in a story about the Gatherers, and they were tracking different Avengers across the multiverse. And this guy they were tracking and eliminating, but he made it to our universe. And unfortunately, he didn't get to do too much. He ended up dying. But the potential Cold Tiger has, since technically drawn, he was the first Panther or the first Tiger, depending on how you want to look at it. Okay, bottom right, that is the Mangaverse Black Panther. I will be doing an origin story on him later on this week. And, just to put y'all up on game about who the Mangaverse Black Panther is. The Mangaverse Black Panther draws his powers from a different being than Bast. And they are magical in origin. He leans more towards his magical abilities than science and technology. As you can see, he turns into a were-panther, and he has all of the strength, speed, agility, and ferocity of a were-panther. Interesting side note. That Black Panther can also shapeshift into the Falcon. That was weird, wasn't it? So now they sending these people at us. Wow. That's crazy. Anyway, to the left of the mangaverse Black Panther, you already recognize that 6160 T'Challa. And then to the left of him, deadliest man alive, T'Challa. Now, all of these T'Challas have flaws, but they also have great advantages. And that's why I think they would fit together great as the Panther Patrol. Yeah, we got some jerkweed in the comments with goofy commentary. If you wanted some money for starving people in Africa, then you could have sent that somewhere else. You didn't need to send that in my live, dummy. Why would you do that? Anyways, the story behind the Panther Patrol, of course, yeah, you guessed it. King Solomon's frogs. Yes, King Solomon's frogs are the reason that these 5 T'Challas end up coming together and have to deal with a evil version of Shuri, disguised as another villain. That's not Dr. Doom. What do I mean by that reference? You'll find out in Mangaverse T'Challa's origin video coming your way really soon. Did I hit what I needed to hit? Yeah, I hit that. Okay. Wow. I be getting down, don't I? Yeah, I do. Okay. Other fun thing. I'm glad y'all enjoyed Panther Patrol. Coming soon to action figures near you. That is going to be a neat trick, I think, with Cold Tiger and Star Panther. But I am up to the task. I kind of thought so too, Kamoyo, that King Solomon's frogs being involved in the situation might do precisely what it needs to do. Because you ain't got to explain nothing. You ain't got to explain nothing. You know what I mean? That's how they're together. You know, and one of them uses the frogs to gather the other 4 and lets them know that this villain is such and such, but is actually your sister too. So how do we deal with a villain that's bent on all out destruction, mayhem, and terror? That's my blood. I think it speaks to a situation that some of us have had in the past where we got relatives. We love them. We really do love our relatives, but they say stuff and they do stuff that is contrary to your moral code. They say stuff and they do stuff that is contrary to your financial code. They say stuff and they do stuff that is contrary to your effing common sense mode. You just, and I guess in real life, it doesn't really come down to conflict. It just comes down to separating, but there's still that animosity. Is that the word you use? I don't know. Each T'Challa is unique enough to keep things interesting. Yeah, and each one of them isn't, it isn't just vibranium. One relies more heavily on his smarts. One relies on his brute strength. The other one relies on his faith. One relies on magic. One relies, I guess we we ain't really get to see what he relies on because we ain't seen too many appearances of him. So there's that. But that is the Panther Patrol. We're gonna manifest them physically, so we can see, how they vibe, and if it is something potentially that we can do, let's do. Okay. Last topic of the night. I can't believe it. Wow, it don't feel like, where does all the freaking time go? And I covered all this. Wow. Okay. I guess I am too thorough for my own damn good. All right. Y'all know me. I like football. And with the draft coming up, there's a lot of football talk. Now, me, being the historian that I am, before I look forward, I got to look back. Okay. I'm a defense guy. Look at that there. Look at that right there. And tell me, would you want to go up against that defense? That defense. Can you imagine if all 11 of those guys played on the same team? They would be unstoppable. Reggie White this guy. No, it's not a 4-4-3. It's a 4-3, but they didn't have room to put Dion down there with the other defensive backs, Mr. Martin. That is the defense from hell. And that's Chat GPT. Now, I've seen versions of this where they had they replaced Derek Thomas with Mike Singletary. Nah. Mike Singletary was good against the run. He wasn't as good against the pass. Nah, I'm not fooling with that. We gonna forfeit. or White and Bruce Smith at ends, Joe Green and Warren Sapp at tackle. I've seen others that had Joe Green and Aaron Donald, which would be equally as menacing, I think. Linebackers, Lawrence Taylor, Ray Lewis, and Derek Thomas, a lethal trio. And at corners, you got Sanders and Woodson, and Ed Reed and Ronnie Lott as safeties. If you do manage to get a pass off on that rush, whoever catch the ball is getting level. And I would even go so far, at cornerback, I would replace, and I know I'm going to get a bunch of crap for this, I would replace Deion Sanders with Darrelle Revis. Darrelle Revis is just as shut down as Deion Sanders was, and he wasn't scared of contact. He was who you seen Deion Sanders put a lick on? Who you seen Deion Sanders level? I never saw Deion Sanders level nobody. He's a good tactical player. He picked the shit out your passes, but you put a lick on Deion and see what happened to him when doing, but you can't never catch him doing. You can't never catch him. That's a murder. That's a murder red rum defense. What you mean you don't need Deion hitting nobody with that defensive personnel? So we expected Deion to pick every pass come his way? What happened when Deion don't pick that one pass and you got to actually tackle him up? Give me a sure and efficient tackler over the showboating as intercepting guy any day of the week. That's just me. That's just me, though. I ain't taking away from nothing Deion did, but bruh. He said, I saw Chad Ochocinco hit Ray Lewis. Ray didn't even register it, and Chad hit the ground. Bruh. Well, what was Ochocinco, like 160, 170? He a 200-pound man. He a 200-pound man in a 170-pound body. I.e., don't be trying to do big boy stuff. If said CB sticks to you like glue. Sticking to me like glue ain't tackling me. And you can stick to glue. You can stick to Calvin Johnson. You can stick to Calvin Johnson like glue if you want to. Megatron ain't getting solo tackled. Is he? So yeah, you can cover me. Covering me is one thing. Tackling me is something altogether different. And that's the only glaring flaw I see in that man. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't one to put licks on people. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody else in that secondary got that problem. I done seen Ed Reed level some people. I done seen Ronnie Lott level some people. And I done definitely seen Rod Woodson level some people. Okay? That's what you supposed to do. Speaking as a D-back, a former D-back, if you can't tackle them, you better knock their ass down. Don't let them get past you. Don't let them get around you. And you could be covering them. And what if they catch the ball now? That's all I'm saying. Them other positions don't matter if the quarterback is on the ground. All right, I can see I'm losing this battle. Dion is loved by everyone in the chat. So I apologize. Dion can stay. Damn it, y'all. If y'all wasn't the Rock with Me Nation, I would tell y'all some things. But I love y'all, so I won't. I think about 17 Lombardis in total in that lineup. And 2 that ain't never had one. I see 2 for sure that ain't smelt no parts of a Lombardi trophy. That is Bruce Smith and unfortunately my man Derek Thomas, rest in power. They have not seen a Lombardi ever. Never, ever, ever in their life. Meet you at the quarterback. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm a defensive guy, you know what I'm saying? So I understand. Don't nobody think their position is irrelevant on defense. Cause think about it. If you got a smothering front four, the D-backs ain't gonna be doing nothing no way. You know what I'm saying? If you got a front four like how Philly was doing us in the Super Bowl this past February, you got a front four just smothering mud. I can have my grandma at defensive back. Just like Mario said, Sanders is irrelevant when you got Reggie White, Warren Sapp, Mean Joe Green, and fucking Bruce Smith running at you. Bruh. Oh man. Yeah, that's not any fun. That's not any fun at all, y'all. Look here. What do we do today? Shit, we did custom action figures. We did Badass Kids. We did the Panther Patrol. We did Robert Smalls. We did Green Lantern. And the greatest defense of all time. Was this one? What was this one or was this one? You know what I'm saying? I remember seeing a couple that had the greatest all-time offenses on it. And that's who they got. Hellman, the setup. I still remember Dion getting beat on a 40-something crossing pattern by a 4-7 palm-colored Bears wide receiver Tom Waddle in 91 or 92. And it's the Bears, and that's your squad, so that must be the truth. Tom Waddles. Tom Waddles scorched Deion Sanders. Dang. He one of them little putt stop and go receivers. I ain't mad at him though. Lest we forget, the 49ers and Cowboys both traded for him to win Super Bowls, and he delivered. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Deion is a Florida. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's a name I've not heard in a while. Not Stickum. Not Stickum, Mr. Martin. Not Stickum. Lester Hayes. What was he, number 37? I think Lester Hayes was. And had a Jerry curl. Lester Hayes probably one of the greasiest mugs on the Raiders. Lester Hayes was greasy. But hey, I remember back in the day, receivers would talk about Lester Hayes, man, because he would take that stickum and slather it all over his arms. They say he be covering mugs and then get that stickum on him. Bruh, that's nasty. Bruh, that's nasty. Let me see if I can find a picture of old Lester Hayes. Yep, number 37. Lester Hayes. Yeah. Yeah, boy. I'm gonna put last. All right, y'all ready? Here go a picture of Lester Hayes, y'all. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Just let your soul glow. Lester Hayes, ladies and gentlemen. Lester Hayes, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. But yeah, Lester used to slap that stickum on all the way up his arms, and yeah, folks was offended. They had to outlaw that shit because they're like, man, nah, he fingertips, bow, interception. I synced it. Kamaya said he looked like he'd rob you in the parking lot after the game. Give me all your money, nigga. Oh. Mr. Martin, these so-called all-time teams, that group of characters was put together by Chat GPT. So You can put together your all-time team anytime you feel like it, brother. You want Daryl Green on there. You want Mel Blount on there. You want John Lynch, whoever whoever you think is the good, because that's what they think is the greatest all time. What we talking about here? To get tackled with Stickum. Or to get it, because it was a lot of players, man. They used to complain about it, get it on their uniforms, and they had to get new jerseys because that shit didn't come out. And I'm just like, even as a kid, I'm like, that's nasty. The secondary is most open for debate. Yeah. I mean, because I know a bunch of, man, like, I thought Everson Walls was a decent D-back. I thought Dale Carter was a decent D-back. I thought Deron Cherry was a decent D-back. I think it's yeah. You're right. You're right. That is very much open for debate. But guess what? It ain't open for debate tonight, because we here for a good time, but not for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, Friday Vibing is a thing, and it's still happening. I think it is time. Y'all done had enough of a break. Next week, I'm pretty sure we are going to have a guest. And it's going to be a guest that can't none of the other suckers have on their show. So y'all get ready for that. Tomorrow night, me and Theo going to be vibing. I think tomorrow night, I am going to vibe from the couch, y'all. I will still have all my fun little aids. But I think I'm gonna vibe from the couch, y'all, on the pad. And it's gonna be a different kind of vibe. It's gonna be a different kind of energy. So y'all get excited for that. Vibing from the couch. Maybe that might become a thing, y'all. But don't even trip if it's not. I will always rock with y'all as long as y'all continue to rock with me, and rock with we is how we'll be. And that's it for now, but fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good and be good to each other.